Hey guys, welcome to Beyond Science. I'm Mikexingchen and I want to welcome my friend Dan to the show. This is actually the first time I've had a guest co-host on the show with me.
Unprecedented. So, I'm honored.
Yeah, you should be.
Yep.
First time in the history of this channel. If you guys aren't familiar, Dan and I have a couple of channels together. One's Double Chan Show, Double Chan News channel. And the reason Dan is here is, well, one, he's a huge Pokemon fan. And two, I want to tell you guys about a new channel we're starting. But first, let's talk Pokemon. Now, I've done a couple of videos on Pokemon already, and I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go lately. And the more I play the game and the more I get to know about these characters, the more disturbing things I find.
Yeah, you don't know the half of it. Everyone thinks about these cutesy cartoons when they think of like Pikachu and other Pokemons. But like your previous video, some of these origins are actually really dark. Like you wonder what the game creators were thinking when they created some of these lovable pocket monsters.
So here are some adorable Pokemon characters that are actually pretty disturbing, and some are downright just terrifying.
Yeah, and this isn't just us that's saying it. These are descriptions found in the Pokedex, you know, basically the Pokemon encyclopedia.
Because it's like the third Pokemon video I've done in like a month, but like I said, I've been really, thinking about Pokemon. I've been playing a lot of the games, and I found this really disturbing, so I wanted to share it with you guys. Take a look.
First, we have Yveltal, who sucks the life out of every living thing when it dies. Yveltal is a legendary dark and flying type Pokemon that is also known as the Destruction Pokemon. This character is ultra powerful because it has the ability to absorb the life force of living creatures. In fact, when it dies, it absorbs the life energy of every living thing and turns into a cocoon once more. It's kind of like a dark, deformed phoenix. I mean, what do you expect with attacks like Oblivion Wing and Darkness Blade? Even the name Yveltal sounds like evil plus tall Pokemon.
Next, we have Honedge, who drains the life energy of anyone who grabs it. The Honedge looks like a sword and is born when a departed spirit inhabits a sword. In addition to the creepy looking cycloptic eye, it also attracts itself to people to drain their life force. And if anyone dares to grab its hilt, it wraps its blue cloth around that person's arm and drains that person's life energy completely. Now that's one mean life-stealing sword.
Number 3, it's Kabutops, a ruthless slasher. Kabutops evolves from Kabuto, which is a prehistoric horseshoe-looking Pokemon. It's existed since ancient times, and it's been terrorizing everyone ever since. First of all, it's modeled after the skeleton of extinct sea scorpions, except it stands on 2 legs and has giant scythes for arms, which, according to the Pokedex, it uses to cut open its prey and drink their bodily fluids. Think about that one next time you catch it.
Next up is Gorbis. Gorbis can't be scary, right? I mean, it's pretty, it's pink, and it looks like a cross between a sardine and a dolphin. It's harmless. Think again. This serpentine Pokemon is built to live at extreme depths in the ocean and is able to withstand extreme high pressures. It is actually pretty ruthless and cruel when attacking others. Here's how it happens. It inserts its thin tubular mouth into the prey's body and drains the prey of his bodily fluids. And when it's full, it glows pink. It's said that during the springtime, Gorbises glow the brightest. So guys, maybe don't go swimming in the spring.
Next, let's talk about Haunter, who wants to lick you and then kill you. As if ghost Pokemons weren't scary already, you better run when you encounter a Haunter, which evolves from a Ghastly and evolves into a Gengar. Haunter is completely gaseous and it afflicts its victims with convulsions that of course end in death. And then when you're dead, it will take away your soul. Good luck sleeping tonight.
And on to number 5 on our list. You guys know I'm terrified of ghosts, and one of my worst fears is being buried alive. So this Pokemon is the stuff of nightmares for me. Yamask is a spirit and ghost type Pokemon that is often found near the ruins of ancient civilizations. First off, Yamask looks pretty creepy to begin with. It's got red, beady eyes, 2 arms, and a tail holding a mask. The story of Yamask is that it used to be human a long time ago, and now it just roams around carrying the mask of its former human face. If anyone wears the mask carried by a Yamask, it will become possessed by it. Also, according to its Pokedex, grave robbers who mistake Yamask for real coffins and get too close end up being trapped inside their bodies. But these are also kind of sentimental Pokemon because sometimes when Yamask looks at itself, the mask would shed tears because of all the painful human memories trapped inside. So basically a ghostly, possessive, sentimental Pokemon that has souls trapped inside. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go visit ancient ruins like never.
Now the next one, number 6, is odd but still uber creepy. Phantoms are grass and ghost type Pokemon that looks exactly like it sounds. Half phantom, half tree stump. They look something like you'll hang on your porch during Halloween. Oh, and of course, phantoms have a disturbing backstory. According to old tales, these Pokemon are stumps possessed by the spirits of children who died while lost in the forest, and their spirits then possess a rotten tree stump. They are capable of imitating the sounds of children's voices, but as morbid as those sound, phantoms and their evolution form Trevenant are kind to Pokemon that actually reside inside it and are only mean to people who intend to bring harm to the forest. Phew! So as long as I'm nice to the trees, they won't forever trap me inside the haunted forest.
Gothitelle, which evolves from Gotharita and is the final form of Gothita, possesses extremely powerful psychic abilities. It can distort space, showing stars from thousands of light years away, and also has visions of the past and future. Unfortunately, this means it knows when its trainer will die. Sorry, Ash. So if you catch or evolve one and then see it start to cry, it probably means you're gonna die pretty soon.
Number 8, meet DUSKULL, a floating skeleton which looks just like the Grim Reaper, except it has a floating head for a skull and one eye. DUSKULL's stare is so piercing that it will leave you frozen with fear. It can also turn invisible and pass through walls and objects no matter how thick they are. They are relentless as they will pursue a target until the break of dawn. It is said that if a child is scolded by their parents, DUSKULL will silently find them and spirit them away and even enjoy the sound of their cries. So next time your kid doesn't do their homework, tell them about DUSKULL.
Before we get to number 9 on this list, let me ask you guys, if you could see the future, would you? I used to think that I would, get some lottery numbers, but I do think that I would be afraid to see something that would terrify me, like the end of the world or something. Apparently, that's what this next Pokemon did. Xatu looks like a cross between a totem pole and a dodo bird. People believe that Xatu can see the future with its right eye and see the past with its left eye. They say that it just stands there still in one spot and never utters a sound for fear of the terrifying future events coming true. Now you gotta wonder, what exactly is this little guy seeing?
Okay, on to number 10. Now everybody has probably heard of the next Pokemon, and I've definitely been scared by it. Mewtwo. Mewtwo was created after years of horrific gene splicing and DNA engineering experiments based on one of the rarest Pokemons, Mew. Mew is said to contain all of the DNAs of every Pokemon inside it. However, make no mistake, when Mewtwo learned that the scientists were deliberately trying to engineer the ultimate battle Pokemon out of him, Mewtwo then destroyed the lab, killed the scientists, and set out to wipe humanity out, only leaving wild and cloned Pokemon to inhabit the Earth. Talk about a Pokemon supervillain. Of course, Mewtwo became nicer and less destructive later due to the compassion of Ash, but before that, you bet he was an evil villain mashed with super powerful Pokemon genes.
Number 11, and we're back to body fluids again. What's up with all this body fluid stuff? So the Shuckle is a cute turtle-like Pokemon who likes berries. It collects berries and stores them in its shell. That's innocent enough. Now this is where it gets gross. The berries mix with its body fluids and becomes a juice that it reconsumes. Others can also consume the special berry juice, which can have healing effects. I think if I'm ever in a situation where I'm badly hurt and this Ninja Turtle looking guy comes up to me and says, "Hey, drink some of my body fluids, it's gonna heal you," I'd be like, you know what, just let me die. Just let me die.
Number 12 on our list, we have Lampent. First of all, who in the world came up with the idea of a Pokemon shaped like a lamp? A floating ghost lamp that steals human souls and uses them for its own fuel. Seriously, it hangs around hospitals waiting for people to pass away so that it can steal the spirit from the body at the moment of their death. Dude, if I lived in the Pokemon world, I'd be afraid that all real life lamps were just camouflage for Lampents.
Okay, this next Pokemon is just it's just messed up. Drifloon is another Pokemon that has deceivingly innocent looks. Drifloons are formed by the spirits of people and Pokemon, and it usually just wanders around. Children that see it will often mistake it for a regular balloon and are unwittingly carried off by this ghost/flying type Pokemon. According to the Pokedex, these children just vanish and no one has any idea where they vanish to. Narnia, maybe?
Number 14, Shedinja. Shedinja is just a floating shell with a hole that can suck your soul in. The Shedinja looks pretty normal from the front, even a little cute actually. But there is a hole open on its back that shows it has no inside. It's just a hard shell. That's why this Pokemon never ever moves. Apparently, anyone who looks into the empty back hole will get their spirit stolen, or so it is believed. Either way, we wouldn't recommend testing this theory.
Next, we have Grimer, who apparently just kills everything it touches. Grimer just looks disgusting. It was born from sludge that settled on a polluted seabed. It is a poison type Pokemon, and it lives up to that because its toxic body renders any soil barren after coming into contact with it. Pieces of one Grimer's body can also break off and become more Grimers. If you're not disgusted enough yet, Grimers also like to drink dirty sewage water. That's just worse than anything I've ever heard any Pokemon do, except for drinking the body fluid thing. Body fluid, sewage water, I don't know what's worse. So there you go, guys. Those are some of the most disturbing Pokemon I ever heard about. And we are sincerely sorry if some of those really, will gross you out, because to this day,
Yeah.
I don't know what body fluid they're talking about.
Dude, when I read that, I was just basically like, no.
Is it like pee? Because if it's pee, they can have it for free. They'd be like, you want to suck body fluid? Just go to my bathroom. Just tons. Please, take
That's basically the equivalent of us eating a berry, then throwing it back up, and then eating that. That's basically what it is, right?
No, that's just digestive food.
Yeah.
That's not body fluid.
Right, I know. I don't know what they mean by body fluid.
I mean, that is just gross.
Yeah. All these disturbing Pokemon, if you never watched the cartoon and you just read these, you'd be terrified. All these scary Pokemon, when you see them in a cartoon, they don't look terrifying ever.
Have you seen one drink body fluid?
Well, I haven't seen
I
that.
think they could definitely make Pokemon into like a rated R horror movie.
Dude.
Because it's a Japanese thing. Japanese people are really good at making things horrifying. They could literally make Pokemon. Because if you think about what Pokemon is, I mentioned this in my previous video.
Okay.
If you think about what Pokemon is, it's literally a bunch of kids trapped in some fantasy land where there's no money, there's really no adult supervision, and they're throwing magical tennis balls at these monsters who are somehow fitting into these tennis balls, and somehow when they come out, they're like their best friends. They're like Lassie, and they're like, who do you want me to kill?
Yeah.
And they go around killing other monsters. So it's kind of crazy to find out all these terrifying things behind what you perceive are innocent and adorable.
Exactly.
So anyway, guys, back to why Dan is here. If you guys have been watching me for a while now, I have Beyond Science, and on Beyond Science, I talk a lot about mysterious phenomena around the world. I talk a lot about, giants, mermaids, aliens, plus, I guess, scary stuff, because I like both. And also very mysterious things that we can't explain.
Supernatural things.
Right, and I've always wanted to expand that into something more. So a channel where more of these topics can be discussed, like maybe awesome places around the world that are disappearing, or scandals in the Olympics, I don't know.
Yeah.
So basically things that interest me that doesn't really fit into what this channel is. And I want to keep the topics of Beyond Science very concise, so it's going to be mysterious stuff, it's going to be scary stuff, it's going to be sciencey stuff,
supernatural stuff.
So I don't want to change that. So that's why I'm going to expand to a second channel called, and not too imaginative, I guess, Beyond Science 2.
Oh my gosh.
Where it's going to be all interesting facts, information from around the world. Also, what I always wanted to do, was also have a channel that has a segments where me and my friends can discuss some of these topics together. So on all the videos that you'll see on this new channel, Beyond Science 2, we're gonna discuss like what me and Dan did about the Pokemon stuff. Also, we're gonna do videos where it's all that. It's just gonna be pure discussion about super interesting topics we found. And sometimes it would also include topics that you might have seen on the Beyond Science channel, because a lot of times on Beyond Science, I can't sit here and just like talk like for 20 minutes about a topic I covered.
Right.
Because that'd be boring. It's just me, blah, 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 blah.
But now we can do that.
Now we can do that with a lot of people, because all my friends, we have a lot of similar interests.
That's right.
So we can sit around and talk about all this stuff. And we're going to find ways so you guys can join in as well. And that's why this Beyond Science 2, I feel like it's going to be a really fun channel. So please subscribe to it. We just launched it. I think it has a couple of videos on there already. So please subscribe to it. Give it some love. I would really appreciate it. All right, guys, all the channel info is right down here. It's also in the description box. So please subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching this video. See you later.
Bye.